Female genital mutilation involves the partial or total removal of external female genitalia to the female genital organs for non-medical reasons. This is a practice with no health benefits for girls and women, as it bears complications in childbirth and increased risk of newborn death. More than 200 million girls and women alive today have undergone FGM in 30 countries. In Africa, the Middle East and Asia, where it is practiced. Hence, to mark the International Day of Zero Tolerance for Female Genital Mutilation, which is 6th of February annually, medical experts in support of the World Health Organization give warnings against this practice. Details by our correspondent, Victor Onwemene.
International Day of Zero Tolerance for Female Genital Mutilation is a United Nations-sponsored annual awareness day that takes place on February 6th as part of the United Nations effort to eradicate female genital mutilation. It was first introduced in the year 2003.
Female genital mutilation is a culture that was married into religion. It's a kind of injustice against the female gender. As far back as the biblical days, we were told that only the male gender was circumcised. Well, they will call it circumcision for women.
It has been in existence since the beginning of mankind. But the practice itself doesn't have any health benefits.
Female genital mutilation comprises all procedures that involve altering or injuring the female genitalia for non-medical reasons and is recognized internationally as a violation of the human rights, the health and the integrity of girls and women. Girls who undergo female genital mutilation face short-term complications such as severe pain, shock, excessive bleeding, infections, and difficulties in passing urine, as well as long-term consequences for their sexual and reproductive health and mental health.
The female genital mutilation can be in 3 forms. It can be partial, total, and, depending. So now if you do whether partial, total, or what have you, it will affect so many things. Number one, for the child, it could give behavioral adverse effects. The child will no longer trust the people around them. It affects their libido, we agree. So naturally, when they are grown to the age where they should enjoy sexual, with their partners, it will not just come. In the days of old, most women got infected with so many diseases. For instance, HIV/AIDS during this process in the core villages where it's being practiced. It's a global thing anyway. It's not just done in a particular area. But somehow, most countries have tried to pull out of it. However, I must confess that it's so difficult for them to enforce it.
To promote the elimination of female genital mutilation, coordinated and systematic efforts are needed, and they must engage whole communities and focus on human rights, gender equality, sexual education, and attention to the needs of the women and girls who suffer from its consequences. Although the practice has been around for more than 1,000 years, there are reasons to think that female genital mutilation could end in a single generation.
That's a lot of complication. It could result into bleeding. It could result into scarring. There will be formation of scars. And then, because some of them, they are majorly done by traditionalists. So I'm sure you sometimes don't expect that they will use the proper the equipment. Some of them are not well sterilized, so there is risk of infection. And then even later on in life, there could be infertility.
Federal Ministry of Health in Nigeria they have mounted up several campaigns against this practice. But unfortunately, some people still believe so much in it and they are still doing it. So we will continue to campaign, health workers, the media, we can use the social media, even to continue to propagate the gospel of no FGM.
To promote the elimination of female genital mutilation, coordinated and systematic efforts are needed, and they must engage whole communities and focus on human rights, gender equality, sexual education, and attention to the needs of women and girls who suffer from its consequences. Victor Onwemene reporting for KAFTAN TV News.